I wonder if you have some premise or some idea of what you think the market's likely going to do. Some people have said you don't need to know what the market's going to do in order to make money. That's called gambling, by the way. If you don't have an idea of what the market's going to do, you're going to have to guess at what the market's going to do. And you could make money by guessing, but you're not going to make a career out of guessing. So that isn't going to happen. So the odds, if you want to know something where the odds are truly against you, it's guessing. So we don't want to do that. Gambling, at least in my terminology, is when you place a bet when you know the odds are against you. And investing is when you place a bet when you know the odds are in your favor. That's the difference between gambling and investing. And the only way to do what we're doing, what you're doing, what we're all doing in the markets is to have real working knowledge of what's likely going to happen. And if you don't have that knowledge, then wait until the market gets into a position where you do have that working knowledge, or utilize someone else that you know for sure does have that knowledge. You can do that with us. You can do it with anybody who has a real, authentic working knowledge of what is, in certain cases, the most likely thing that's going to happen. And the more information you can get, it's one thing to say, well, the market's going to go higher or the market's going to go lower. That's kind of the most basic thing that somebody might be able to say to you. Well, we think, we're bullish. Well, what's the time frame? Where's the market going? When's it going to get there? All of that other information is left out of that. So the more information you can get, the better it's going to be for you. That's why I say we all want to be trading with a forecast. If you're not trading with a forecast, then what are you trading? What's the premise of your entry? What's the premise of what you think is going to happen if you don't have a indication or a forecast for what the market's likely going to do? So it can be clearly seen that only the ignorant speak in terms of you don't have to, know what the market's going to do in order to make money. That may be true, or it's truer when you're speaking of doing something like index investing, where you're buying the index every quarter and you're just putting that money away and just holding for long, long periods of time. Yes, the market tends to go up over time and you don't know what it's going to do on any given day, but over a long period of time, it may tend to go higher. But that's not what you and I are trying to accomplish here. And that's usually not what people are referring to when they say, you don't need to know what the market's going to do in order to make money. I'd love to have that conversation with somebody and say, well, then what are you doing if you get in without knowledge of what it's going to do? How do you know to buy or sell? Well, that's right. You're just guessing.